Hey church family, it is hard to believe that we are stepping into a new school year and preparing for ministry this fall, but I'm excited to see all that God is going to continue to do in and through His church here at Statesboro Worship. This past January, we released a video reflecting on all that God has done in and through His people here in 2025. And today we're going to take a few minutes to celebrate all that God has done in and through His church from January through July of 2026. And one thing is very clear, and that is that God is faithful. God has been faithful to us, and we know that He'll continue to be faithful. But when you hear about all that He has done through His people here at Statesboro Worship, I hope that you will be reminded of His steadfast faithfulness. So let's take a few moments to celebrate all that He has been doing. One of the clearest ways that we're seeing ministry happen here at Statesboro Worship is through our serve teams. A lot of the time, the work in ministry that they're doing is behind the scenes, and you may not even know that it's taking place. But the ministry of the serve teams is allowing our church to take care of people well, to meet the needs not only of our church, but also our community. And so I want to take a few moments to go through and highlight what our serve teams have been up to this semester. Our Major Life Event Care team has faithfully provided 24 meals this past semester from January through July. They've provided these meals for those that are going through major life event changes, whether that be welcoming a new baby or going through a difficult diagnosis or surgery. These meals have provided comfort and a way for people to be reminded that their church family cares about them. They've also completed at least 3 visits per month to either hospitals or nursing homes to remind people that are going through difficult times that they are loved and cared for by their church family. We are thankful for the way that this team is showing up for the families of Statesboro Worship and letting them know that they have the love and support that they need. Our Serving Hearts Care team has provided 2 luncheons to those in our congregation and community that are 75 and older. They had one in February around Valentine's Day and then another one in the spring in April. These times have provided a great opportunity for fellowship for our seniors and a time to connect with one another, have a moment of learning and also entertainment. And so we are thankful for this team providing this opportunity for Christian fellowship for our senior adults. They have also provided 157 visits this past semester to visit those that are shut-ins, those that are in the nursing home, or those that may need an encouraging word from our senior population. And so we are so thankful for this group and the way that they're serving this age demographic so that they know that they are cared and loved for by their church family. Our facilities team is hard at work taking care of what God has entrusted to us. They have overseen or helped complete many projects this past semester. Everywhere you look, you can probably see something that this facilities team has helped come to life. And so I want to highlight some of those projects. Non-slip surfaces were installed at our front and back entrance of the church. Safety strips were put on the back porch steps. We also had new AC thermostats placed inside the main sanctuary of the church, as well as our lighting upgraded to LED lighting for cost savings. We've had new security system installed and cameras installed, constructed a new portion of our sound booth and painted it. We've had new handicap parking spots put in place outside by our side entrance of the church. There's also now a water access down by the playground, and there's been ongoing maintenance that's been happening for our air conditioning, our gutters, our building in general. There are so many things that go on day in and day out that our facilities team, along with especially Benjamin on our staff, that they have been seeing after and making sure that we are being good stewards of what God has entrusted to us. I want to give a big thank you to this facilities team and to Benjamin and for the work that they have been investing and putting in to what God has given us so that we can glorify Him by being good stewards. Our Stitching with God's Love Serve team, they meet the second and fourth Monday of every month, and this past semester they completed 60 pairs of shorts for boys in Trinidad and 8 dresses, and so we're thankful for their faithful service in completing those projects to help meet the needs of the children in Trinidad. Our prayer team comprises of 27 individuals who have faithfully been praying not only for the needs of our church family, but also the needs of those in our community. They consistently have around 60 to 70 different people on their prayer list at a given time. And they don't just offer up an occasional prayer for these people, but they truly walk beside them, consistently checking in and seeing what specific prayers that the individuals have and how our church can support them as they're walking through whatever adversity they may be facing. As well as praying, this team has sent 115 cards since January of cards of encouragement to let people know that they are seen, valued, and loved as they are walking through whatever that they may be facing at any given time. And so we're thankful for their dedication to this. We are also going to be having a church-wide prayer service on Sunday, August 16th at 4 p.m. We know that it's not just our prayer team's job to pray, but that we are all called to prayer. And so I hope that you will join us on August 16th at 4 p.m. for this prayer and worship service, as I know that it'll be a time that is blessed by God as we go before Him, offering up the prayers not only of our church, but also of this community. Our special Sundays and events team have faithfully hosted 3 luncheons since January. We had one at Palm Sunday where we not only got to enjoy a luncheon, but also a time of fellowship with inflatables and an Easter egg hunt. In May, they hosted a luncheon for our graduating seniors and their families so that they could celebrate a huge milestone in those families' lives. And then here in August 9th, we're kicking off a new school year, and they're hosting a luncheon so that our church family will have time to fellowship with one another and be excited about all that God's going to do this fall. I'm thankful for their hard work that goes into the luncheons so that we as a church family have an opportunity to connect through godly fellowship. We're also thankful for our decorating serve team who help out at every single event and every luncheon that we have, providing nice decorations to make our church more hospitable. We love being able to walk in and feel like that we're at home, and our decorating team help provide that type of atmosphere for our church family. We also have a setup team that serves weekly, setting up for church on Sundays, as well as all of the special events that we've had this past semester. These are people that set up when you and I aren't around, and so we don't always see the hard work that goes in to placing every single chair out for Sunday morning worship and the events throughout the semester. And so we're thankful for the hard work that they're investing too. What I just shared about our serve teams is not an exhaustive list of all the ways that people have served this past semester, because the truth is many of you have served in capacities that I didn't mention. Whether you're on the kids team or the student ministry team, or you're on a team that I didn't even highlight, I want to say thank you. We could not do the ministry that God's called us to without everybody pitching in and allowing God to do a work in and through you with the gifts that He's given you. And so I want to encourage you, if you haven't plugged in and you're not serving right now, to take time to think and to pray about how God could be using your gifts and talents for His glory. Each of our serve teams could use more people being a part of those teams to help carry the load. And so if you're interested in getting involved, reach out to me. I'd love to get you plugged in. Or maybe you have an idea of a new serve team that needs to be created to help meet the needs of our church family or our community. We welcome those ideas because we all understand that Christ, He did not come to be served, but to serve others. And He's called us to have that same heart posture and attitude when it comes to loving others and serving them. And so I hope that we will all take it upon ourselves to continue to think about ways that we can serve. And so thank you for the service that's happened. I'm excited to see what God continues to do in and through our serve teams, and also just our church in general and the ways that you guys are serving in our community each and every day. Thank you. Our church has also faithfully continued to be a part of missions. One of the ways that we've been involved in missions is hosting blood drives. We've hosted 3 blood drives for our church since January, and at those drives, we collected a total of 140 units of blood. We had 57 people that are involved in the life of our church that either gave blood or helped volunteer to make those blood drives happen. This is huge, and we are thankful for everyone's participation as this is a true way to serve not only those in our community, but outside of our community with a tangible need that they have. We also hosted a fourth blood drive as we partnered for Battle of the Badges. This was sponsored by Hope Hall, who's been on our prayer list, who's battling leukemia. And so we helped host that blood drive by helping with check-in and facilitating logistics here for that blood drive. And so another way that we are being the hands and feet of Christ by meeting this tangible need. Another way that our church is involved in missions is that we provide monthly support to Open Hearts Mission. This is an organization that provides care for the homeless in our community, helping them get reestablished and back on their feet. And so we are thankful for the work and the ministry that Open Hearts Ministry is doing, and that we are getting to partner with them each and every month to help make that possible. We also support a missionary couple that is over in Central Asia, and they are in an area that is not open to the gospel. And so we support them monthly so that they have the ability to go and make relationships and work among the people so that they have an opportunity to share the gospel with them. It's part of us fulfilling the Great Commission to take the gospel to the ends of the earth, and I'm thankful for our consistent faithfulness in helping provide for those needs. We also have been a part of 2 monthly drives. The first Sunday of every month, we have a collection of food items for Christian social ministries, and then we have a collection of hygiene items for The Button. The Button is an organization that provides hygiene items to students here in Bullitt County. Each of the ways that I've mentioned to you as different parts that our church is a part of missions, but it's not an exhaustive list. And the truth is that it's God empowering us to serve others for His glory and for His name's sake. And I'm excited to see how God continues to use us to partner with others. This past semester, we were able to partner with several college students as they were headed out on mission around the world. And so we got to be a part of that, which is exciting. And you guys are going to hear an update about that from one of our very own on August 16th during our church service. So I'm excited to see how God continues to move and work through our missions team here at Statesboro Worship. Another one of the ministries of our church is our men's ministry. This past semester, they gathered 4 times to have supper and godly fellowship and to be encouraged through God's word. And we want to let you know about what's going to be upcoming this fall for that ministry. They're going to have their kickoff on September 13th at 6 p.m. But they're going to gather together for supper. They're going to have an in-house testimony that night. And so we hope that all of the men of the church will make a point to be there and invite a friend. On October 11th, the men are going to serve with our fall festival. They're going to help with cooking and parking and some other things, so it's a great way for people to plug in and serve in that capacity. Then they're also going to get together on November 8th for another time of food, fellowship, and encouragement through God's Word. Lastly, they want you to mark on their calendar November 29th. The men are going to serve by getting out all of our Christmas decorations from the trailer and the attic. And so go ahead and mark your calendar, men. We would love for you to help and serve that day, November 29th. God is going to continue to move and work through our men's ministry, and I'm excited to see all that's in store. We also have a women's ministry here at Statesboro Worship, and right now we're offering a Bible study that's going to kick off this fall, and that's going to be led by Linda Hubbard. It's going to start mid-September, and so if you are looking for a Bible study, they will meet on Tuesdays. They'll have one class in the morning and then another class in the afternoon. If you'd like more information, please reach out to me, and I'll get you in contact with Miss Linda. If you've been on our campus this past semester, you see that change is taking place as our building for a godly legacy is unfolding through the construction of a discipleship building. If you're here each and every Sunday, you're seeing change that's happening before your eyes, but I want to highlight some of the things that have been done and some of the next steps for this construction project so that you're aware and can be a part of the process. The foundation and the floor slab are in place. The roof and roof insulation are installed. The exterior walls and most of the interior walls have already been framed. The fire suppression system is currently in progress. Our next steps are the exterior wall sheathing, pouring the front porch slab, and running power to the building. As you can see, many things are happening with the new discipleship building, and we are thankful for all of those that are investing their time in making this come to fruition. But I also want to give you an update of how you all have been allowing God to move and work through you by blessing the church with the financial means to continue this building for a godly legacy. I've shared with you the physical changes that are taking place on campus as the discipleship building is being constructed, but I wanted to give you an update about where we are financially in pursuing this building. First, I want to say thank you. Thank you for your incredible generosity, as many of you have sought the Lord on how He would use your gifts to help bring this dream to fruition. Because the truth is that God is going to use this building to impact generations to come with His gospel message, and I cannot wait to see all that He does in and through this building. And so I want to let you know where we're at financially. Our original goal was $4.5 million to complete this project and furnish it, and so far we have received and gotten pledges for up to $4.3 million of this project. I want to share with you how these numbers break down so you can understand this a little deeper. Funding received to date accounts for $1,352,772.57. Outstanding pledges that we are in the process of receiving are $2,951,101.36, which means that we still need $196,126.07 to bring us to the projected $4.5 million. And so I want to say thank you for those that are giving and let you know that we are almost there. There's still room to give. As you know, that there are different needs as a construction process is ongoing. And so want to let you know that we hope that you'll continue to seek God on how He would move and work in and through your gifts and your resources to bring this discipleship building to fruition. And so continue to pray over this building. Continue to pray over the ministry that God's going to do. Pray over the families, the children, the youth, the senior adults that God's going to impact through being able to have this space to bring ministry together, not only to be happening in this building, but to create disciples through His word that will go out from this building and impact our community and world for His name's sake. Many of you know about the staffing updates that have happened this past semester, but I want to take time to highlight them so that we can celebrate God's faithfulness in providing for our needs. First and foremost, God answered our prayers in a mighty way by bringing us a lead pastor. On March 1st, Dr. Hambrick Brooks officially started as our lead pastor, and he and his wife Teresa have moved to Statesboro and have faithfully been serving our church family and community the past 5 months. If you haven't had an opportunity to get to know them personally, I encourage you to do so. I am so grateful for his leadership and their family's willingness to jump in and to serve and to be a part of our church family. Then on June 1st, we hired our new minister to students, Hope Franklin. We welcomed her and her husband, Brian, to Statesboro. They came to us from Haddock, Georgia. She has jumped right in this summer into a full calendar of events for our student ministry and has been so faithful to already love on our students and their families. And so if you haven't had a chance to meet her or her husband, take time to introduce yourself. I know they would love to meet you. Then on July 5th, we hired our new minister to children, Betsy Klein. She and her husband, David, are not new faces around here as they are members of our church and have been faithfully serving in children and student ministry for many years. But Betsy is stepping into this new leadership role, and we're thankful for her leadership. If you haven't gotten a chance to talk with her or David and about all that's upcoming this semester, make sure you reach out to them. We're thankful for their leadership and excited to see what God will do in and through her as she leads our children and their families. Then this August, our own Jody Hendricks stepped into a new role, Next Steps Pathway Coordinator. And we know that for many years, Jody has served faithfully in our children's ministry, leading them and their families, and we are grateful for her service and dedication and love to them. But we are excited to see how God will continue to work in and through her in this new capacity for our church. We're going to tell you all about the Next Steps pathway here in a minute, but Jody's going to be leading this ministry, making sure that people don't just drop in and drop out of our church, but they truly get plugged into the life of the church through life groups and through serving. And we're excited to see what God does in and through her in this capacity. Statesboro Worship's mission statement is that we are a joyful family that exists to glorify God and grow disciples through His Word. One of the ways that we want to be more intentional about discipleship is making sure that people don't just come on Sunday and then get lost in the crowd, but instead we want to make sure that people are not only coming on Sunday, but they're getting connected into the life of the church through life groups, small groups, Bible studies, Sunday school classes, and opportunities to serve. And so with that desire came about something called the Next Steps pathway. The Next Steps pathway is broken up into 4 phases. We want to move people from being known, where they're personally recognized, first-time guests are welcomed and followed up with. Then they're being moved to invited. People are being invited into deeper community within the church. We're inviting them to take their next step in their faith journey. Moving over to connected, that people are actually connected to a life group, a small group, a Bible study, a Sunday school class. They're connected to a place to serve within the church body. And then the last phase, growing, that people are actively growing within their discipleship opportunity and within their service opportunity. And so the desire of this Next Step pathway is that none of us would stay right where we are, but that we would continually to pursue God in an active manner, taking steps further in our faith journey, asking, what's my next step? And that question first starts with, what's God's next step for me? I hope that this process is a way that each of us can step out of our comfort zone and continue to pursue Christ with all that we are. With our Next Steps pathway starting back, we're also launching some new life groups. We want everyone within our church community to be plugged into discipleship. And so mid-September, we're going to be starting some new life groups that are going to gather together to study God's Word and also fellowship with one another. And so if you're interested in being a part of one of these groups, please make sure that you reach out and let us know. We've got a information form that you can fill out and let us know your availability and what you're looking for. But we want to make sure that each and every person has a way to connect in deeper discipleship here at Statesboro Worship. We also have weekly ministries that are taking place at our church that I want to highlight. First being our children's ministry. Our children's ministry meets on Sunday mornings during our worship service for children that are birth through 5th grade. And then we also meet on Wednesday nights for children that are in pre-K through 5th grade. I want to highlight that this last semester we had an awesome vacation Bible school. We had 110 kids that were registered. We had 57 adults that volunteered and 26 student leaders. It was an incredible week where we focused on Rainforest Falls, learning about the nature of God. And so we focused on the characteristics of God. It was a joy to see children growing and learning in their faith, being filled with excitement about all that they were doing and learning. We also this summer went to Bruton Parker College for Centra Kid Camp. Betsy jumped right in. It was her second week officially being on staff, and we were headed to summer camp. We took 28 students and 9 adults, and that week the theme was Story Writer, and we focused on the fact that God is the author of our story and that He has good plans for us so we can trust Him. It was an incredible weekend where kids were being able to step out of their comfort zone and grow in their faith through Bible study and through interactive games and time of fellowship. And so we are grateful for both of those opportunities for kids to grow this summer. They also had a jam-packed schedule this summer with events such as Farm Day out at Jody's house, a pool party, a water day, game nights, you name it, it was happening. But the special thing is that every time that they gathered, it wasn't just about fun, but they also had a time of of devotion or a testimony that was being shared. And so I'm thankful for the many ways that this summer that God has been moving in and through our children's ministry. Not only that, but this past semester, they had Wednesday nights each and every week that school was in session. They met here for small groups. They had a time of games, but also a time of Bible study where we were going through learning about the promises of God. We had faithful adults and volunteers that were serving each and every week to teach our kids and to encourage them in their faith. And so if you are one of those volunteers on Wednesday night or on Sunday morning, thank you. Children's ministry could not happen without faithful adults and student volunteers deciding that they are going to share their faith with the next generation. And so thank you for being willing to serve and all that you've invested into our children here at Statesboro Worship. Another weekly ministry that we have is our student ministry, which serves our 6th through 12th grade students, which is now being led by Hope Franklin. They had a fantastic full summer. She jumped in right away, helping our students serve at Vacation Bible School the first week of summer. And then 2 weeks later, they headed off to summer camp at Snowbird Wilderness Outfitters in Andrews, North Carolina. They took a total of 37 people to that camp where they learned about God being present with us. It was an incredible week of students growing through a time of worship, through Bible study, through small group discussion, and then also high adventure. They got to go whitewater rafting and enjoy on-campus recreation. They had an incredible time together growing in their faith. Also, as they came back, they closed out the summer with some weekly events. They had things like Color Wars, Ice Cream Olympics, a summer luau. They had many fun events where they were gathering together each week. But like our children's ministry, they didn't just gather to have fun. They also had a back porch Bible study before each of their events where they were taking time to study God's Word together. It's exciting to see our children and our students excited about the Word of God and excited to learn more about Him and to grow in their relationship with Him. This fall, they're also going to be having a middle school retreat and also a separate high school retreat. Both of those things will be taking place in September. If you'd like more information about those, be sure to reach out to Hope and she will get you everything that you need. As we wrap up our video update, I can't help but think about in April, we celebrated 3 years as a church being together. And I think about God's faithfulness that's represented in that fact. One passage that we often refer back to is a prayer in Ephesians chapter 3, specifically looking at verse 20 through 21, where God reminds us that He can do immeasurably more than we can think or imagine because of His power at work in and through us for all generations to come. This is a reminder for each of us that it's not what we're doing, but it's what God is doing in and through us. And so I'm excited to see God's faithfulness continue to be on display through His church here at Statesboro Worship. I encourage you to think and pray on how you can be involved this fall. We've got a lot of great things in store and we are excited for how God's going to move. And I hope that you will choose to be a part of it. God gets all of the glory, honor, and praise, and we can't wait to see what He does next.